something that I never ever anticipated would happen. It's made a big change in my life and in my career. And about mid-March is when Memorial jumped on this right at the beginning of the crisis. And we were very, very crowded. People were very, very frightened. Everybody wanted to be tested. And what Memorial did is we moved into the parking lot because that's safer for both the patient and the provider, because we can keep social distancing and we don't have to keep sanitizing rooms and keep changing our protective equipment. And I think the fact that Memorial jumped on it when it did is part of the reason we've got a lower death rate in our county than in the surrounding counties, because we stressed isolation. And what the process amounts to is we leave the patient in the car, we go out there in protective equipment, and the nurse gets a brief history. We do a very, very brief physical. What you can do through a car window is obviously very, very limited. And if they meet the criteria for the COVID testing, we will do the COVID testing. And our problem from day one is it took about a week to get that test back. So what we would do is we'd tell the patient, go home and isolate for a week until we find out what the test shows. And I think that was our saving grace at that point, because we were emphasizing isolation. Stay at home where you're supposed to be anyway, and that is what caused us to have a better success rate in this county and in the Memorial system. And our testing numbers are starting to go down considerably, but we're still having to tell people to isolate for a week while we're waiting for the COVID to come back. We are not doing the IgG, which is the blood test here, because we don't really know what that amounts to. What does it mean if you're positive for it? We don't know. We did it on the staff because we all, we had no. But we don't know what it means, and very few of the staff came back positive with the blood test. We don't do the finger stick or anything like that at this time because we don't know which of those tests are good. We don't know the sensitivity and the specificity on these tests yet. So we got to stick with what we know at this stage. Now, if we could get a quick one, that'd be wonderful, because everybody wants to know, can I go to work? Well, what we're telling them is, we don't know for a week, so go home. If we could tell them in 15 minutes, you're negative, go back to work, that'd really open up this state. But we can't do that at this point. Respect the disease. The disease is still at a very virulent stage. Use your common sense. Pay attention to what the government's telling us to do as far as our social distancing. Don't go to a crowd. And be cautious. It's not over. This is gonna go on. I'm predicting fall, Christmas, if even then. Yeah, it's gonna be here a while, because we've got to develop immunity. The disease has to mutate. We've got to come up with a vaccine and a short test, a quick, rapid test. Then we'll get this under control.